Hello, welcome in. Today, I'd like to offer you all a quickie vinyasa practice as the weather starts getting warmer for those of us in the northern hemisphere. Um, in order to cool and smooth out pitta. So as we're moving into pitta season, you might notice that there's a lot more heat, a lot more fire accumulating. However, you also might still want to move your body. So I know folks love their vinyasa style practice. We're going to fine tune it today to support that building heat as we move into the new season. So go ahead and grab a couple blocks and a blanket, a bolster and pillow if you've got it. And we will start reclined down on the mat today for just a few moments into a Baddha Konasana or a butterfly pose. And you're welcome to support yourself either with bolster or pillow under your back or underneath your knees. So take your time to get set up. Pause if you'd like to, if you need to, and I'll meet you there as you're ready. Okay, so as you come to land, I'm going to demonstrate this variation where the back is supported because it's going to give a nice softening, a nice opening for pitta at the heart center. So I'll actually rest back. The bolster is running congruent with my spine, and my feet are going to touch in the center. Knees can be wide. Blocks are great supports here as well, just to lay the groundwork for our practice. As you're there, I'm actually going to adjust the camera a little so that you'll be able to see when we're in standing posture. So go ahead and land there and take a few smooth breaths to arrive. This Pitta pacifying form of practice is also just so helpful for heart soothing, right? And so grounding. And when we come to balance and pacify pitta, we want to look for some a little bit more fluid, a little more spaciousness, more like what I might call moon-like or lunar-like movements, and a much more cooling breath so that we tap into that essence of the gentle heart, right? The gentle heart openers are wonderful for pitta, really spreading out and taking up space. And also, enjoying some time in a non-competitive headspace. So that can be part of Pitta's sharpness is the sense of striving or competing. So please allow yourself to have the time during our little quick fast break practice today to really tune into the essence of how you're feeling versus any pressure to be needing to do things any particular way. So that might mean that um, deviate from what I'm offering you. And I really encourage you to follow your heart with the practice today. We'll take a few more cool, soft, and spacious breaths, exactly as you are, either propped up or all the way to the earth. And I will invite you, whichever variation you find yourself in, to take one hand over your heart, maybe both palms down, and tune into both the rhythm of your breath, hopefully moving softly and smoothly, as well as tuning into the beating, a soft drum of your tender heart. And see if you can give yourself a gentle affirmation that I move with softness, with gentleness, with surrender. Pitta can feel very driven, very action based, and can be very medicinal to offer ourselves space to unwind, relax, and surrender. Another breath here. And then gently slide your hand or hands down off of your heart. Help your hands with your hands to draw your knees up and together at center and take a roll down to one side. You can slide the bolster or pillow out from underneath you. And again, thinking moon-like movement, so very fluid. Start to work your way up toward tabletop so that your knees can come in underneath your hips, wrist and elbow come in beneath your shoulder, and start to roll circles with your ribs. Reverse the direction. And just a breath or two of cat cow because we want to get some of that nice flexion and extension in for the spine before we build in too much movement. And then go ahead and land your right hand to the center of the mat and reach your left fingertips way up high. Way up high, feeling into a lot of space at the armpits, these little pockets. I like to call them hot pockets in the body where heat, where that fire energy likes to accumulate. So really spread your wings. And then on your exhale, spread all the way under your right arm. Land down to your left shoulder and your left ear. And then find your breath moving at this space between your shoulder blades here. So imagine you could broaden, breathe into the back of your heart space. Press your right palm down into the earth once again, slowly untangling, and then take a moment to luxuriate in that wideness, that vastness spread out. And then we're going to swap sides. So land your left hand now to the center of your mat. Reach your right fingertips way up high. And just taking a moment to appreciate that space, the coolness that comes from a little bit of time to spread out. And then breathe on into your twist. So right arm threads underneath your left this time. Land down to your right shoulder and right ear. And now bring your breath focus to the space that's being created between your shoulder blades at the back once again. But the side, second side of this twist, it might feel a little bit different, right? The shoulder might feel a little bit different. Maybe you feel a little more space, a little less space. Take a wide breath. And then go ahead and press the earth away with your left hand. And again, as we come out soft and fluid, silky in transitions, and taking a moment to breathe into that spaciousness. Land your right hand back down to the earth. Tuck your toes under behind you and reach your hips high and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, really fluid wags as you bend one knee and then the other. You can swivel your hips. And then bring your gaze forward, step your right foot all the way up through, land your left knee down to the earth. So we'll work into these really subtle, gentle heart openers, so nourishing for Pitta. So as you lift towards your Anjane Asana, take a big circle back with your elbows, big circle back with your elbows, and lift your heart. But also being mindful to not be excessive, like we're not striving toward your personal edge. Big lift with your heart and let it be soft. Wide, soft, open, and tender heart. Reach your fingertips upward, land your hands toward the earth or your blocks. And as you do that, you can rock your hips back in space, float your toes, take a fold, Ardha Hanumanasana. Roll all the way into the sole of your right foot. Press the earth or your blocks away as you do that. Hover your back knee and go ahead and walk all the way around toward the long edge of your mat as in Prasarita Padottanasana. No time to waste when we have these little fast break classes. So fold forward. This could be a spot where you land to the crown of your head. If it's there for you today, I recommend reaching toward your legs with either hand. So it could be to calves, ankles, or big toes, but getting wide through upper body and lower body. And again, breathing into those spaces, particularly the hot pockets at the pits. The groin is another spot where that pitta energy tends to kind of pool, right? our hot spots. And with a nice silky smooth breath, you can start to lift your gaze, bring your hands back to the earth, walk around to frame your front foot. You can land your knee down at the back if you'd like to kind of renegotiate where you are in space, perhaps set your blocks within reach beside you. Frame your front foot and step all the way on back into downward facing dog. Note we're intentionally skipping that vinyasa, but I know if you're like really pitta accumulated and you feel like you need that, then by all means go for it. Otherwise, just a little bit of a wiggle, a dance, something that feels fluid and lunar here in down dog. And then bring your gaze forward for the second side. Left foot leads this time. Right knee lands, cushion it if you'd like. And as you lift, steady here, big circle back with both elbows. Love this kind of cactus arm variation. Again, notice if you're getting really, um, sharp with how deep am I in my back bend? And you notice you're having trouble breathing and it doesn't feel smooth and it feels forced. That's a lot of pitta. So allow it to be soft, expansive, lifted. Take one more breath, silky and smooth. And then go ahead and reach your fingertips high, Anjaneyasana. Breathe your hands through your heart. Frame your front foot, pushing up off the earth or your blocks, hover your back knee. And we're going to wiggle right around to the long edge of the mat once again. So second time around, reaching towards shins or ankles. Pour the crown of your head down toward the earth. A few breaths here to quite literally take up space. Let your body be wide. Let your breath expand. And then go ahead and walk back into your fingertips. Bring it all the way around toward the top edge of your mat. Land your knee if you'd like to resettle. Press your palms into the earth. Hover your back knee. Take a step back. Oh, we skipped over our Ardha Hanumanasana on this side. So breathing back, hips stay high. Float your toes. Let's pull that in. And then go ahead and lean your weight forward. Take a step back. Fluid down dog. Lots of movement here. Let's round the back. Roll your weight forward and lower all the way to the earth for a few breaths. Take your arms out wide. Take your arms out wide for a little bit of lunar bhujangasana variation. So roll your shoulders down your back and it's a bitty hover with your heart and back down to the earth. A few rounds, just like that, big rolls with your shoulders, wide elbows, and exhale to the earth. One more round. This time, land your right shoulder down. Bring your gaze toward your left elbow. Cover your heart once again. And drop your left shoulder down. Bring your gaze up to your right elbow. And bring it all the way back to center. Your heart can hover. Hold on down. Hands press into the earth beneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Lift back up through table. And then keep your hips stacked high. Walk your fingertips forward. We're going to take Anahatasana a little bit differently, or a variation of it today, which is tented up on the fingertips with the fingers as wide as possible. So fingers wide, wrists and elbows stay afloat. Melt your heart toward the earth. You can land to your chin or your forehead. Anahatasana, so armpits are afloat. Melting the heart. Perhaps you even want to walk your feet or your knees slightly wider than you traditionally experience this pose. With your next inhale, slide up from the back side of your heart. Walk your hands back in. Stack wrists beneath shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Breathe it back to down dog. And then slow motion walk for the center of your mat. Just one footprint at a time, all the way up toward a fold. Heel toe step your feet out wide. And then drop your toes out, but heels stay aimed in. So your toes are out, heels are in. Something like hips width distance apart, or perhaps just a little bit wider. I like to have my block handy. So we're sinking hips down low as in Malasana. I like to share, this was like one of those mind-blowing ones with as far as functional approach once I brought it into my own practice. Um, you know, where not for lack of flexibility, but I wasn't feeling much in Malasana when I got here, right? I wasn't feeling much at all, which had to do with hard compression in the front of my hips. So if that happens to you, I've always enjoyed sharing this one since I learned that. Actually, prop the hips higher so the upper arms can help to draw inner thighs back, and you'll actually get a lot more edge that way. If you're able to drop all the way down and get a nice edge there without compression, then stay right where you're at. That's beautiful. And pull your hands together toward your heart here, or maybe even here. Soft palms over that tender heart. Do you feel like you're creating a lot of heat? We've just had quite a nice heavy rain shower here, but I can already feel it heating up again. So good reminders to slow down as we nurture Pitta. We want to stay smooth, steady, even, silky, balanced. Take another breath. And then very slowly rest your hands back down to the earth. If you're propped up on a block, you can remove it. Guide yourself to the floor. Extend your right leg out long. Left foot can stay hugged into inner right thigh, as in Janu Shirshasana. Find a little squeeze of left calf into left hamstrings into left calf. You'll probably feel that hike your hip forward. And then fold it out, Janu Shirshasana. So you can land with your hands to shin, to ankle, sole of your foot. A block could come out beyond your foot. And allow head, neck, and shoulders to be soft. So again, traditional pose, we're building in this essence of softening, of surrendering. It's more lunar, so more yin-like. In yin, we often round the back and get soft in the tummy. For just another breath or two here. And then go ahead and slide it all the way up to a nice tall seat. Take your right hand across midline, find the top of your left thigh or your left knee, and spin into a twist. So you're on your fingertips behind you, left fingertips behind you. Or you might wrap around your low back and look for opposite hip. Allow your inhales to lift you, and without force, there's a lifting, but also like a blossoming, a blooming from your heart. So without force. Go ahead and slide it all the way back to center and come to the second side. So left leg extends out, right foot to inner thigh. Set yourself up, find a little squeeze, hamstrings to calf, and fold it forward. Remember, you can be soft, soft in your belly, soft in your shoulders. Even if you're connected at shin, ankle, foot, sole of your foot, block, allow everything to be heavy and soft. Another breath here. Cooling, settling, and soft, allowing any excess heat to simply dissolve. And then go ahead and slide all the way back up. This time it's left hand comes across midline, finds the top of your right knee or thigh, and spin. If you'd like, you can take your right arm around your low back. Smooth and even breaths. And then go ahead and release. Slide that all the way back to center. Bring your feet in either for a crisscross If that's comfortable for you, you're welcome to elevate your hips if you'd like. Or if it's more comfortable, you can sit back onto your heels. We'll take just a few rounds of a parasympathetic, of a very cooling pranayama before we wrap up our practice for the day. So it looks like this. You'll extend your tongue and either roll it into a straw like so, or for those that that's not happening in your body, you can simply extend your tongue and breathe in over the surface of your tongue, or close your mouth and breathe in through your teeth without trying not to clench or tighten the jaw. So it could be this, and it could be this. Remember, this is a soothing one, but absolutely, if pranayama practices in general are simply not appropriate for you, you're always welcome to visualize rather than follow along. So inhale will allow the air to pass over the surface of your tongue. And then close your mouth and exhale through your nose. Again, be mindful of clenching in the jaw as you switch to the nasal airways. Inhale through your mouth, through a rolled tongue or across the surface of your tongue, and then exhale through your nose as you softly close your mouth. One more round. If you'd like, you can hang on to this for another round or two. You can settle here for a very brief and soft meditation as a place to land for integration. You can rest toward a supported heart opener or shavasana. Remember, it will be brief today. If you happen to have handy there some cooling lavender spray or an eye pillow, those are really great for gently guiding any excess pitta back to center. See if you can visualize yourself seated or lying in a shaded garden near a flowing stream. You can hear the trickling of gentle water movement around you. And that breath practice, Sitali or Sitkari, is the cooling breath intended to really take the core temperature down. And so as we encourage the body to cool, to rest, to soften, might we invite in this calming and cool imagery, resting in shade, a soft babble of a brook. Let your breath and body be the cooling breeze that calms that heat that can be created by perfectionism, by incessant ambition. Like the moon steps in to soften and cool the sun's intensity. Let this practice remind you of the beauty in yielding to rest and inviting in something a bit softer. And as you're ready, start to wiggle your way back toward movement. If you're not already there, you can land up toward a seat. And for one last time, bring your palms in over your heart. This softening and nourishing this space is always so helpful for excess pitta. So remember that as we move into warmer seasons for those that are in the Northern Hemisphere. Thank you so much for joining in the practice today. And I hope to see you back again soon. Ciao. Bye-bye.